everyone. Super thrilled, super excited to be here. I am ecstatic. Oh my goodness. We've got another great show today. And I'm not going to belabor the time because listen, I'm super thrilled. I want to get into this conversation. Daina, how are you?
I'm really good today. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I've already talked to I don't know how many folks today, so my
Nice.
my coins are kind of going down, down, down. So, but listen, that's how we introverts are, and there's no shame in my game. It is what it is.
Yes.
So, I would love to know, Daina, where in the world are you?
I am located in San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm Canadian, but I moved down here about 2.5 years ago, and I'm just kind of enjoying the slow life down here.
I love that. So, what got you there? What took you there?
My husband and I had been looking to move somewhere warmer. We're from Canada, so somewhere warmer. And we had been down to Nicaragua in 2017 for about 3 weeks to just travel around and visit. And we'd been to other countries too, but we really liked it here. It was still very untouched in 2017, still very like raw. So we came back 2.5 years ago. It's much more developed now. So it's a little bit different. It is quite a bit more expensive than it was in 2017, but it's still just that, local food. You can find like just tranquilo everywhere where you just chill and watch the sunset, and it's no hustle and bustle really. It's lovely.
I listened. I promise, Dana. I promise. I listened to everything you said. I did not check out, but I have to be very transparent. When you said you were in Nicaragua, I immediately started thinking about I wonder what kind of food she's eating because my happy place is where food is.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love different types of food, all types of food for the most part. So, what is your favorite? And I'm not ashamed. Listen, y'all, I am not ashamed because I 100% love food and I can have a
Me too.
conversation with anybody about food. So,
Yes.
what is your favorite meal that you have experienced there so far? What's in it?
There is, so I'm probably calling it the wrong thing, but it's called asado, and it's somebody will set up a charcoal grill on the side of the street, but usually outside of their house. It's in restaurants too, but the best ones are outside of someone's house. And they'll charcoal chicken and have like a coleslaw salad and some grilled plantain with it, and mix it all together in a bowl, and it's like $3. But it's just delicious. I don't know. It's pretty plain, but I love it. I love the charcoal chicken. I just love the street food aspect of it. So that's my favorite.
Listen, listen, my mouth is watering because I love all of those. I will eat all of
Yeah.
that. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, it sounds so amazing. So, so
Yes.
incredibly amazing. Well,
Yes.
thank you so very much for that enlightenment and sharing that with me today.
Of
I
course.
absolutely love these types of conversations. So, I would love to know, Dana, now that you've been in Canada, you're in Nicaragua, and so what are you doing right now to love on the world around you? How are you loving on the world around you?
One of the big things that I do down here now is I volunteered at an animal shelter and then help like get the word out to people to like, be kinder to animals, how to feed them, how to take care of them, and then get people in touch with their forever fur baby and help them find that companion. Because I have two cats and three fosters at the moment, so it's always just so much fun to find the perfect animal for the perfect person. So I do a lot of that here, and I think something that I've like learned coming down here is just the beauty and the value in slowing down and taking the time to look at like your surroundings, the beauty, the nature, and appreciate it more, and realize that we don't need to always be going after especially the material things. That's something I try and instill on my husband a lot, is we don't need all the material things we used to have. Like, life is still good when we can just be and enjoy and have fun and, play, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like at this point in my life, I sit sometimes and I look at the things that I have and I'm like, I don't really need that. I don't really need those things.
mhm.
I'm more into experiences and time with people, you know?
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
And it's
Yeah.
so necessary because, I mean, listen, I'm over 50. So I spent a lot of my years just existing, especially when I was in
Mhm.
corporate America. And I didn't like that.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, you're just kind of wake up, go to work, do your work, go home, go to bed, do it over again.
And I could not, for the life of me, I couldn't fathom that that would be my life forever. I'm like, no,
No.
I don't want this. This
Yeah.
is not how
Yeah.
I want life to be. So how are you expressing that love through, helping people find their forever fur you said forever fur babies or forever
Fur
baby?
baby,
Fur
fur
baby?
babies, pets.
Yeah. So how are you doing that? How are you facilitating that?
I help volunteer at some events. So when I'm an introvert, but I love going to and helping create, set up, and find events in the community where we can showcase the animals or fundraise for the shelter, and get the awareness out there that there are these little animals out here that want to be loved, and they're wonderful, they're happy, they're healthy, we take care of them, and there's so many available for anybody that wants to have a new pet, that I feel it's so important to get the word out there and not just sit back and assume that they know that we have them all. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I love that you pointed out that you're an introvert, but you actually specifically go out and look for these events to have. And so I think that's really key for folks to understand that are listening, that we introverts, we're not we're not all shy. We're not like socially anxious. We're not antisocial and things like that. We just have our preferences of how we exist in
Yeah.
in in with people. And so what is the message that you want to get out to the world, Dana?
Oh, I am also a holistic nutritionist, and one of the reasons I became a holistic nutritionist was because I struggled with chronic fatigue syndrome for many, many years, 20 years. 20 years. And with this side of me, there's a message to a lot of women and to men too, but especially women, I find, that keep looking for answers to your health problems, to your fatigue, to those mysterious symptoms that it might seem like nobody's paying attention to, or you get told it's all in your head, or you're told everything's normal and you don't feel like it's normal. So yes, I was basically told that I'm just gonna have to live with my fatigue and learn to cope, and that would be my life. And unfortunately, for a number of those years, I did kind of believe that and did nothing about it. And it was frustrating, but I knew I didn't want to live that way. And so I finally started to do little changes and looking into natural health options, and changed how I eat. I really listened to my body and paid attention to it. I was like, there's something wrong. I know there's something wrong. I think there's got to be a solution. So I just kept experimenting. And finally, eventually, I got access to some very cool holistic nutrition, functional healing food protocols. And I was able to play with those and put things together and put my chronic fatigue into remission about 10 years ago. So it's been it's been very empowering for me, because I was able to make friends for the first time. commit to something like dance classes. I got to learn dance. I got to travel the world and go to Italy and all these places I'd always wanted to dream, or I'd always dreamt about going to. But the very thought of planning a travel event or committing to a 4-week fitness or dance class was just beyond my energetic capacity. And so now I never would have been able to pick up and move to Nicaragua if I had no energy and no motivation and just no ability to really put the plan into action. So my message is that women, make sure there are people that out there that can help you, and you deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be treated with as much respect and love and compassion as you absolutely are meant for. So keep looking for answers.
I really wish I had known you back in 2014, because I was chronically fatigued. I mean, really, really bad. Especially, and we're women. This is a podcast for women, but there are a few men that listen. So, guys, sorry, but it's okay. It's life.
Yes.
So, with my cycle, it got even worse. And
Yes.
so each month I was like a zombie, you know?
Mhm.
And the doctor that I had prior to that, he was really, really good. He was holistic. And so he looked at so many different things. And so, but then he ended up leaving that practice. And so they looked at, I think, what is it, vitamin K or K something. They looked at my D3. It was just some different things that I hadn't been aware of. And so they actually helped somewhat. But ultimately, when I got additional doctors, the answer was a hysterectomy.
Mm.
And, I know so many women my age, or, women that are older than me, that when they were my age, well, this was 10 years ago, that did the same thing.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, there's other ways around this. Has to be, you
There
know?
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking for more kids, but
No.
I am so grateful that you're out here educating women on this, because it's so necessary. It's so
Mhm.
needed.
Yeah, and I think that before I got into holistic nutrition and like using food to heal my body, I was maybe not going to be on like the full hysterectomy route, but I would have been on the route of feeling horrible into my 30s and 40s and 50s. I'm 45 now, and it's kind of interesting because the reason that I figured out there had to be a solution to my fatigue was because I got off birth control pills when I was 35 and had some major post birth control hormonal issues like acne and bloating and weight gain and headaches and fatigue. And it all started with me using food to regulate my cycle. And that was when, about 3 or 4 months into that, for the first time, I felt like I had some energy back. And so that was like kind of that light bulb moment went off, like, ooh, this is new. This is very cool. What else can I do with food? Can I actually fix this fatigue problem? And then I kept going. So yeah, I personally believe, and for myself and clients and other women out there, that our cycles are one of the most powerful health indicators that we could ever have as women. We're lucky. Guys don't get this. We have this amazing cycle that, if it's natural and you can pay attention to it, you kind of know how to read it and know what's going on, why you're feeling the way you're feeling, you're experiencing symptoms, then you can, it's like responding to it. It's asking for help. Like, hey, I have heavy periods. That's your body asking for some help and supporting that, right? And acne, it's asking for support. And so if we know how to react to it and respond to it, it can give us some really cool insight into our health, and it can help us regulate it. And then it kind of gets to become this like guiding light every single month, every single day of the month. Like, just, I'm feeling a little off this week. What happened? Oh, I ate chips the other day. Maybe I'm a little inflamed. Or, oh, I had fewer vegetables than normal. Maybe I'm just needing some more antioxidants. Just little things like that where we start to tap in and we can use it. I think we can. I know we can use it as this powerful tool, and I love it.
Yeah, and I'm 100% convinced, and have been pretty much not too terribly long after I had that surgery, that procedure, that our bodies are designed to heal themselves, and that it's really key what we put in our bodies is, like you said, our bodies are reacting to whatever's in there. And so
Mm-hmm.
we've got to really pay attention to that. So I really love that you are doing this, that you're on this mission. And this is another way that you're loving on the world around you, because we do need to be better. How can we run our businesses? How can we have, whether it's, human babies or fur babies, but how can we have any babies, or, really loving life, period, if our bodies are not in the best possible shape? And that's not necessarily, hey, you have to be this size or that size, this weight or that weight, XYZ, but it's, is your body healthy? And so I love that you're doing that. So what does it look like, Dana, when someone, if I am, and I'm thinking from the perspective of those that are listening, I might know that, I don't know, I've got some kind of issue going on in my body, or maybe there's something going on that I've just kind of brushed off and don't think that it's all that important. How do I know I need to get in touch with you?
I would say that anytime you feel like something's off, if you if you complain about the littlest things, like, oh gee, look, I'm a little bit more bloated this week, or if it's so extreme that you're once a month crashed out on the couch, unable to get up, can't function, have to cancel client meetings or cancel plans with friends because you're too in pain or exhausted or just can't think. Anytime that you feel, I call it an intuitive connection kind of thing. Like, with women, we're told we have this like gut instinct. So I think we can tap into that and think like something's off. I feel that there's something going on inside my body. Maybe your doctor, maybe everybody said nothing's wrong, but you intuitively or gut feeling know that this isn't right. That's when I would suggest looking for someone that can support you. And I wholly believe that this can be done very simply rather than through like restrictive dieting, restrictive food protocols, anything like that too, because most often these symptoms are popping up because we're lacking certain nutrients, not because we are eating too much carbohydrates or too much protein or whatever is going on out there.
Yeah. So, I just keep thinking, man, where was she when I needed her in 2014? I mean, oh my goodness, 10 years ago. Oh my goodness. Because I remember those days. I remember those days, like literally laying on the couch, not able to move, in deep, deep pain, sleeping for hours and hours, waking up and still exhausted, just like crashing and burning. And then knowing that, yeah, I've got to go to work. I've got to do this. I've got to cook. I had kids in the house at the time. So it was like, oh my goodness. So Dana, now that I have realized, if I'm on, someone listening and I realize I need to get in touch with this lady, I need her in my life, how do they get in touch with you? And then what does that look like?
Probably the best place to find me would be on Instagram. I have an account called at the.energized.woman. And working with me one-on-one is, I do have some group, like do it yourself kind of programs, but working with me one-on-one is, I feel the best way for someone to really get a good understanding of their own body. Because what we'll do together is just start off with an hour consultation to really do a deep dive. So I call myself a health consultant because I get inside your body and get under the hood and really take a look at what nutrients you're missing, what nutrients maybe you have too many of. I look at your hormone levels, whether you have too much estrogen, too little, low progesterone, cortisol issues. And then I look at all your body systems as well as like, what types of protein do you have? And are you getting enough protein? Is it all the right types of protein? And I do this through an assessment. So it's not blood work, it's not a lab test, it's a self-assessment based on your symptoms. It's very similar to what a lot of functional medical doctors will use as well. And so putting all of these symptoms together gives me this amazing, deep, thorough picture of what's going on inside your body. And so I can pinpoint where exactly the symptoms that you're experiencing, the ones that you are most frustrated with, where they're stemming from. And that can oftentimes as women, take hormones, for example, we'll be struggling with hot flashes, weight gain, cravings, and we'll blame those hormones. And they are at play, they are irregular, they are out of whack, but there's a deeper issue underneath. It could be too much inflammation. It could be sluggish removal of those hormones you don't need anymore. So there's different things that I look at way under the surface that help to identify what to work on, what nutrients we need to support that underlying imbalance. Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. It does 100%. And this is really great information. And I love all the information that you've been giving. And so for those that are listening, if this is something that you're experiencing, please, by all means, check Daina out, because we don't have to listen. If it's not necessary, if I had it to do over again, I probably would not have gotten a hysterectomy. I mean, there were some other things. They found fibroid tumors, which I believe could have been healed with food. That's just my own. I didn't know what I didn't know. I just did not know at that time. I had no clue. And so I probably would not have gone that route if I knew what I knew now. And so I encourage you, if you're experiencing, anything going on in your body, it doesn't even matter if it's something that you lived with all of your life, absolutely 100% reach out to Daina and get that information, get that wisdom, get that knowledge, get that relief to get back to the life that you were designed to have, which is an impactful life. You were not put here, you were not created and put here to lay on the couch in pain and suffering all day long. It's just not it. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm about to start preaching because I was there. I remember those days. I remember specifically a weekend where I was trying to get something done. I was on my laptop and I just had to put it down. And I just remember sleeping on that couch for hours. It seems like 2 days I slept on that couch. And so I just do not want that for anyone, if at all possible. If you can get relief, then get the relief that you need, desire, and deserve. Any last words of wisdom, Daina?
Yeah, I think just be strong. You deserve to feel amazing and you deserve to live that life that you dream about. And I don't believe it just needs to be a dream. It gets to be reality, and it gets to be simpler than a lot of people probably tell you it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Well, thank you so very much. Tell us one more time how we can get in touch with you.
Sure. So at Instagram, you can find me at the.energized.woman.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so very much, Daina, for joining us. And for those that are tuning in, thank you for listening. Please, please, please do not continue to live in pain and suffering. Reach out to Daina ASAP. ASAP. Do you hear me? ASAP. Don't let another day go by. So, Daina, thank you so much for stopping by. And folks, I will see you all on the flip side. Bye for now. you.